Okay, um, so mobile just released a couple days ago, and I figured this would be a great opportunity to start a new account. This is going to be free to play. I'm not going to be accepting bonds from any of my other accounts or anyone else, and uh, I hope this would kind of help newer players if they happen to be watching this video. One thing I'd like to mention is by no means am I an efficient player or an absolute beast of a player. I don't know much about RuneScape. I'm not the best, so I'm like the average player. So don't expect like some MLG pro meta tips and shit. But hopefully, I can be entertaining. Alright, so once you get here, you might be confused, but here I'll just explain the combat styles. Alright, so you have stab, lunge, slash, and block, and they all have different like cubes of information. So this one says accurate stab and attack XP. So accurate means there will be an invisible boost to your stat. That means you'll be more accurate. And aggressive is the same thing but for strength. And block is the same thing for defensive. And you also see the word stab and slash. Those are your bonuses, what kind of attack bonuses it uses. And you can see your bonuses in your equipment stats interface, and it'll tell you your attack bonus, and if you hover over it, it says increases your chance of hitting successfully, so your accuracy pretty much. And this one, it's the same thing, so the longsword would have a higher stab bonus, or yeah, just a sword. And a scimitar, which you'll see later, has a higher slash. Your melee strength will increase your max hit as well as your strength, and it'll tell you what EXP each box gives. So each attack style. So this one gives attack, strength, and defense for block. Alright, so this is where, at this point in Tutorial Island, this is where we may deviate, because I'm going to be making an Ironman if I can find him. Do I just talk to this guy? There should be someone in red armor. Oh, okay. I think they changed it. Alright. So the way I'll be playing is I'm not allowed to use the global trade center, if you'd call it, or the Grand Exchange. And I'm also not allowed to trade with other players. And since I'm choosing the hardcore, alright, so since I chose a hardcore Ironman, that means I only have one life. So if I die, then I lose my hardcore status, which means I revert to a normal Ironman. So hardcore basically has all the rules that an Ironman has, but with only one life. And if you're planning on making an Ironman, you might as well start off hardcore, because it's the same thing. You just have that red icon, so if you die, you'll still have an Ironman, so it doesn't really matter. Here we are at Lumbridge. So one great thing about RuneScape is that you can start however you like. You can do whatever you want in whatever order you want. So you could go train your attack, your strength, your defense, your range, and your mage. You can train whatever you want, is what I'm trying to say. But since we're limiting ourselves, so these people that just pop up and start talking to you with your name inside their sentence, it's a random event. So let's see what he has to offer. Oh, he just gave me a present. Okay. and he gave me a sapphire. So these random events just spawn, and they'll give you like a random task, or they'll give you like some random item. If you finish their task, they'll end up giving you the item too. Um, I'm okay. Hey mom. Alright, so as I was continuing, um, so they'll give you a random item, and it's almost worth it to always do it if you're a kind of low level account, because you'll always find a use for the item they'll give you. Either you can sell it, or just keep it and use it later. But it's not always going to be good. Sometimes they'll give you like 25 coins or something. And before I was interrupted by the event, I was saying, so you can train however you want. In free to play, you're limited to certain skills. Some skills are locked behind a paywall, but you don't actually have to drop real money on the game. You can buy membership through GP, and to do that, you can go to the Grand Exchange to buy it. And I've never really gone that far with an Ironman before, so I don't know if you could just go to the G and buy it in an Ironman account, but there is a store right here in your account management tab. And when it comes to it, I'll figure it out because I've never done it this way before. First thing I'm going to do is probably get my combat stats up to around maybe 10 attack, strength, and defense. I'm not going to touch range or mage yet. So the best place to train right off Tutorial Island. Wow, I haven't seen this site in a while. That's crazy. Usually it's empty with bots and everything. Now, I don't know if these are bots or not, but like, it's nice to see people walking around, just training. I haven't seen this since I was a kid. Alright, so just go north of here after you cross the river, and you'll reach the chickens. And these are probably the best, I guess you could say monsters, but chickens aren't really monsters. The best monsters to train on. So here, make sure you set your combat style to what you want to train. So I want to train attack first. Actually, it might be more beneficial to train strength so I can hit higher. And the higher I hit, the more EXP I get. So if you look here, I'm using a third-party client. You can see the strength rising up here. So for every 1 damage, I guess I get 4 EXP for strength and 1 for hit points. And it'll be the same for most combat styles. It will deviate actually once you get higher tier weapons like the Trident of the Swamp or Seas, but it'll be a long while till we get there. So while you're training here, damn, you know what? I should have banked. Look at all this stuff. I could have held more stuff. Alright, so while you're training here, pick up the feathers. We're going to be using that to train fishing later. Also, pick up the bones. You can bury bones for prayer experience. Granted, not that much, but you know, every bit counts. Then you'll unlock like these prayers, and you can use them, and it'll give you a description of what each prayer does. And one of the most important prayers are these 3 right here, and they'll be able to get you through a lot of content that RuneScape has to offer. So don't skimp out on experience, because having these would help you tremendously. I have 10 base melee combat stats. That puts me at level 13 combat level and total level 69. And along with that, I have around 1.5k feathers. And with this, as an Ironman, I'm gonna need food, so I'm gonna be using all those feathers to fish. first I'll be getting shrimps and then anchovies, and then I'll be switching over to fly fishing. And I'd say about 70% of those feathers are going to be trout, and the other 30% it's going to be salmon. And I'm going to be using everything I catch on the range in Lumbridge to get my cooking level up to, and we'll go from there. But since we're here, I already picked up an egg to finish up Cook's Assistant, and we're going to head over to these dairy cows to get a bucket of milk. Now we're gonna head to the mill and then grab a pot of flour. And that should be our 3 ingredients right here. And I'll head back to the Lumbridge to finish Cook's Assistant. That's 300 cooking XP. Now I'm going to fish to get my fishing level up and to have some food. To train fishing, I'm probably not going to Draenor, which is actually like one of the more popular places right here. I'm probably gonna kill some goblins, get some GP to go through the toll gate, and head straight here to this fishing spot. Because the problem with the Draenor village fishing spot is the dark wizards, and I think in order for you to be for monsters to be unaggressive towards you is to be double their level +1 on your combat level. So I do not have that because I believe the dark wizards are around level 8. And I do not want to risk dying, so I might actually want to grab my weapons. And there's some GP in there. Yeah, I'll just use it. I think I'll just grab everything. I'm actually not sure if it's 5 GP or 10 GP. I feel like it's a safer alternative because I don't think there's anything aggressive there. So we'll see how it goes. We are here at the Alcarid fishing spot, and there is nothing aggressive here. The bank is like a couple steps away, kind of a little farther than Draenor Village, but there's no threat of being killed. So this is where I'm going to be spending most of my time fishing. Alright, turns out there's actually aggressive monsters here, the scorpions. So disregard what I said in the earlier clip. Okay, well, I think this is gonna conclude the first episode. We got 10 attack, strength, and defense, and we're gonna work on fishing. In the next episode, I'll probably be finished using all my feathers, and all my fishing would be significantly higher, and that is when I'll begin my next episode. So I'll catch you guys then.